everybody, and welcome once again to the Meat Grinder, Coach's Corner. And it is we are long overdue to get this guy on. It is the great coach of West Haven High School, Rich Boshea, who had his team at the final last year, and they lost in heartbreaking fashion. Not to remind them of that stuff, but they are on the cut. Well, they are now basically unofficially clinched a spot in the state playoffs. They're going to go back and get another crack at it. Coach, welcome to the show. How you doing? We appreciate you.
I'm doing okay. Thank you, and I appreciate you having me on the show.
Long overdue, like I said, Coach. I saw you guys at the beginning of the year. You were at the final last year, as we remember. And, after that game against Greenwich, man, did you ever think you guys get back to this spot?
Yeah, we didn't play well against Greenwich. Greenwich had a lot to do with that. They played really well. We were just a little tight, just not ready for prime time yet. But I think our kids have done a great job working and coming back since that opening loss. And we used last year's Staples team as our model. They lost us the first game, and then they reeled off win after win after win, and they kept improving and getting better. And hopefully that's what we're doing.
What did you take from that Greenwich game? What did you say? Like, all right, you had a whole preseason to work it out. You had Kadir come in, which obviously was going to help massively. The transfer in came in from New York. He's a West Haven guy. Wake Forest commit, big help. But you had an O-line back, but you lost a lot of your playmakers, I guess. And that to me at least seemed like the biggest who was going to step up coming out of that, leaving that Greenwich game.
Right. Well, we did have some problems with some guys that game. Like in the middle of a run, Nick just fell down, and that doesn't happen very often. He's run for 740 yards since then. But I thought the mistakes we made were okay because of stuff like that. Like a mistake would have been that Nick just fell down in the open field. He caught his toe on the turf. And I didn't think that was going to be a continuing problem. I thought as long as we blocked and tackled well, we would be okay. And sure enough, we have been okay. The kids stepped up after the drops and the falling down in the first game mistakes. And Greenwich really played well. They hopped us 13-0, and we didn't really come back well from that.
Tripped on the turf. Are we sure? Or do we still want Chris working on the facilities then? If Nick tripped on the dom, you got a guy like Nick Conlon who, really one of the big playmakers from last year who is back. How is he, gone from this facilitator who had Cameron and Co and Aiden and Armani and now he's the guy, he's the leader. And I got to see him in the North Haven game, and he really seemed to take a lot of it on his shoulders, not just doing it, but also like being the verbal leader, the emotional leader. How have you seen his growth into that player that he is now?
It's incredible. Nick is a coach's dream. He's 100% committed. He's a great student. All his teachers love him. His teammates love him. He shows up at the weight room. He shows up at the practices in the summer. He's not a prima donna. And he has to bring kids along because he's been a starter since he was a freshman, which is kind of hard to believe. And he's been in everyone's shoes. So he's been like a wide-eyed sophomore, a returning junior. He's helped other kids come along. He's been able to use his experience as his career continued to help other kids. So he's really just a leader. He knows all the blocking assignments. He knows he has to tell half our kids what to do as we break the huddle. But all the kids love and respect Nick, and so do the coaches.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys had coming back, and then getting Kadir saying, "Coach, I'm coming home." What was that like?
Yeah, Well, that was certainly a good day for all of us, and I trying to really help, but I didn't think. I think going into Thanksgiving, maybe the two best defensive players in the state will be out there on the field there with Fry from Prep and Kadir from West Haven. Kadir really impacts a game, and he's another one. He's a great kid. You love being around him. He's very funny, good student, and never. I don't know what to write. He never loafs. He doesn't take practice like it's easy. Always working hard, getting other kids to work hard. He's also a leader, and it was awesome that day. He gave me the call on the phone, and he was on the train coming back from Stepanak and asked if we had number 0 available, and I said even if we didn't, Kadir, you would get that number if we come back. His brother was a captain first, playing over at Southern. His dad's a great guy, serves in the military, and just a great family and a great kid. And you just can't have enough good kids, like off the field as well as on. And all these kids are really, really good kids.
Coach, that photo, which if anyone hasn't seen, I'll throw it up on the screen of you meeting Kadir in the number 0 jersey at the train station. And look, I covered you guys a lot last year. I saw you guys win big games. It's the semifinals. I've seen you smile. I've seen you be excited. I got videos of you dancing. I have never seen a bigger smile on your face when you met Kadir at the train
station. Kadir will do that to you, Yes, it was just a good day. It felt so bad to lose him, and then suddenly get him back out of nowhere. It's like an ex-girlfriend calling you up that you never wanted to break up with in the first place, I guess, and telling you she broke up with her old boyfriend. He just makes everyone better. He makes everyone happier. You can really see the problems other teams have with him. He's a force on the field, and he's a force in our locker room and off the field. Very good student. And yes, Wake Forest loves him. And I couldn't be happier for a better kid from a better family. But yes, as soon as he said he was coming, I said, "Where are you now?" And he said, "I'm on the train." I said, "All right, I'll pick you up." I stopped right at the high school. I lived close by, and stopped at the high school, picked up the 2 jerseys, and I was ready there right away. I'll go meet if I get any players as good as Kadir. I'll go meet him at the train station anytime.
If he had given you a little more advanced notice, you could have brought the band out there for him too, Coach. Jeez.
I would have if it changed anything. When he left, he had me dragging on his foot. I was begging him to stay, and he knew what he meant to us and to our team. And like I said, I love his brother too. A great kid, was a captain 2 years ago. Sister comes to school here. Just a great family. They're from the Ivory Coast originally in Africa, so they're really a great family here, and they've really taken to America. And his dad, like I said, serves in our military.
Tell me about some of the other guys who kind of really stepped up for you guys this season. Really kind of gotten you to this point. I mean, like you said, it's like, what is it? It's 8 straight wins since that opening loss. You're going into a big game against Prep, but who was really kind of, other than the usual suspects, maybe even your O-line. Obviously, that was a big factor. But who has really kind of helped you guys out, other than Kadir, I guess.
Well, yes, obviously there, and then the ascension of Corian Harris. He's been really, really running the ball great. We're blocking the way we had hoped we would block when we were coming into the year. We had all our linemen back on offense. They've done an excellent job, and Corian gives us some explosion out of the backfield. It's been a good fill-in for a great back last year, Cam. And Corian also plays corner. He's just another very good student, great kid. You love being around them. They all hang out with each other. They all like each other. And I think just the formation of that that bonding that they've done has really helped us a lot. But Corian, without question, has done a great job stepping up our running game. And then he has 999 yards. And then Nick has been running a little more often, a little better. It's tough. It's really backbreaking when you cover all the receivers and then the quarterback takes off for 30, 40 yards. But that's a definite weapon Nick also has. He's a great runner. He has 700 yards. So I would say that the offensive line playing now to where we had hoped they would, and Nick and Corian running the ball has really helped. And then the receivers have been very good too. A couple of guys have stepped up there. So things have been meshing, and our defense has been playing really well. Big offensive line doing well.
So I saw you at the Staples St. Joseph game. I know you were out there. You're meticulous in your scouting. You know, you look at this class double L field. It's not too much different than last year, other than maybe the personnel. A lot of the usual suspects. Prep now feeling itself. You're going to see them Thanksgiving Eve. You know, where do you guys kind of fit into this, and where do you think you guys? You know, what's the? I mean, I'm sure you think you guys can, you know, make a run at this, but you know, is there any team you want to avoid? Is you know who's out there? What's the double L field look like?
I think the double L field is wide open. Any team can win it. Any team can lose to any team in it. You know, already beat us. State prep is great. They can do everything you need to do to win it. The quarterback's great. The receiving core is great. The defense, they got, like I said, they got Fry and Newkirk, two great linebackers. Offensive line is massive. And then New Britain is a tough team. Glastonbury, we've seen them all. And really, as they say, on any given night, you never know what's going to happen in double L. I really believe that. There's no team that we want to play, and there's no team I want to avoid. I'm not going to give anyone any locker room board info or anything. We respect everyone and willing to play anyone. You know, there's no one that we're trying to duck, and there's no one that we don't respect. Every team that I just mentioned and then some are very good.
I guess Preps, their offense is the real thing they had the defense last year, just couldn't move the ball, couldn't score a lot. But now this year they seem like that's really been their big improvement this year. That made them real formidable. Would you agree with that?
I would totally. Well, I mean, I thought they were good last year, but I would totally agree that they're just a very explosive team. You know, they got Finbar, they got Robinson, and even Langston's a good receiver, and obviously Manning's a very good quarterback. I don't know if he's related to Archie or Peyton or Eli, but sometimes he looks like it out there, man. He leaves the ball right in there. And you got Callahan, Lombardo running the ball, and we have a big line, but we're thick. You know, we're all like 6 foot 270. Their line is all like 6'5", 275, 285, 290. They're all 6'4", 6. I don't know where they find all these tall guys. I don't think I've had that many since I've been here in '85. But they got 5 shoulder to shoulder, so they got a formidable offensive line. And then they got those 2 wild men in the middle on defense, and their defensive line is big. Then you have to go down to that lacrosse field and play them.
Yeah.
Well, Coach, you know, you're hitting us with all these names, so I'm going to assume that you guys are in prep week, right? You guys are fully entrenched in scouting, Fairfield Prep. The game's obviously almost 2 weeks away, but you guys are already hitting the film.
Oh, without question, yeah. We started right after we beat a good Cheshire team the other night. We were here Saturday and yesterday. We've scouted them. Mark Maines, our offensive coordinator, is doing a great job, and he's seen like 3 of their games. I went to the Shelton and the Hendrickson, the Rhode Island team game. So we've seen them live. We've seen them on film. And, they're a scary, good team. And maybe I hadn't noticed, but we haven't beaten them since 2016. So we have our work cut out for us there.
Yeah.
They've ruined a lot of my turkey.
Yeah.
I haven't enjoyed turkey since Anthony Godfrey was here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was wow. I can't believe it's been that long. Almost been 8 years now. Not counting that.
Yeah, you don't have to add it up for me. I know how many it is.
Coach, listen, we were remiss to look back a little bit. Obviously, you lost a Titan at West Haven, Eddie McCarthy, this year. It was kind of, it was kind of sudden. I wasn't, it was all of a sudden he was here and then he was gone. And, how much, he was at the final last year, and you were that close to winning it for the first time since his last title in 2002. You were his guy there. You were a right-hand man for many years. And how much has his presence kind of been still pervasive over this team's season right now?
It definitely is over me. Eddie obviously was my mentor and a big person in my life, both personally and in an official capacity. We coached together over 30 years, and he, like you say, he was at every game. He came down to the Greenwich game. I have a great picture at halftime of me standing under his umbrella in the rain. It's one of my favorite pictures now in my house. And I miss him dearly. I just hope maybe this year we can make him happy.
Do you remember what he said to you, or when you talked to him after when you guys lost the Staples game last year?
Yeah, he said you had to go for two. Great call going for two. You got the ball into your best hand. There's nothing we can do. That Staples safety made a great play, which of course he did. Armani gave it his all. Nick put the ball right there. There was other big plays. He didn't. He was disappointed, but not in me, if that makes sense. He just wanted us to win so bad,
Yeah, I know he really wanted to win. He wanted to get that one. He's your biggest cheerleader.
Well, maybe we'll see what we do. That was a tough week for us, too. Don't forget we lost a great kid, Chris Fidalgo, that week. And so there's a lot of weight on us. I really wanted to get that championship for Chris's mom last year. So it was a heavy game for us all. Tough practice week, tough week. And then that loss didn't help.
What would it be? What would it mean to you to maybe kind of get it back this year?
I would love it. I've been a West Haven High football fan literally since I was 12 years old. I played lacrosse for Joe McHugh. He won a championship in '68. I played football for Tom Hunt. He won a championship in '72. And then I coached for many years with Eddie, and we won 4 of them. So I kind of want to keep that string going to say that, yes, I won 1 year also. And then it's up to the next coach to keep things rolling. So I would love to get that championship, to say that not that I'm as good as Mr. Hunt or Mr. McHugh already, but just to say that I upheld my end of the bargain.
Yeah.
I was in the end zone in 1972 when we won it.
In 72?
68 was a little, I remember it, but 72, I used to go to the practices, and I was there on Thanksgiving morning in the end zone. West Haven 112. No. Yes, traditionally, West Haven played Hill House in Yale Bowl for years and years and years and years. And then when New Haven added a third school, Lehigh, they had 2 schools play each other at Bowen Field, and the odd one came to West Haven every year. So every Thanksgiving game was here. So in 72, West Haven played Lee. and I believe the score was 12-0. But Xavier was also undefeated, and there was a big argument over this. You just voted number 1 and number 2. West Haven edged out Xavier, and Xavier had a long streak going. They played in '73. West Haven broke the streak. And that was the beginning. Believe it or not, Larry McHugh, Eddie, and a couple other coaches started putting the playoff system together because Lighthouse Larry thought we needed a playoff rather than just sports writers voting on who number 1 was. But he came out of that 72 season. And they kind of put the thing together, and then the playoffs started in
76.
Yes, in 76 was the first year. Yeah. Yes, they were the primary ones, and I forget. I believe they got it from. I forget. I didn't know what state they borrowed it from. A lot of that system came from. It might have been. It wasn't Texas. It might have been Oklahoma, but a school from the Midwest. They borrowed their system. A state, not a school. A state in the Midwest. And in '76, we were 91. New Britain. There's years where people argue about stuff, but it's still a very good system, I believe. Yeah. I wish there was only 4 categories, but 4 classes, but the system is good.
We got to figure out the scheduling, but we can go on and on about scheduling. Maybe we'll do it in one of these shows down the road about, what your ideas for playoffs are. But, right now we'll focus on the now and we'll get you out of here. But obviously prep big, and then we're on to the playoffs, and it should be a really good one, I think. What do you think, Pete, in that class double L there?
Double L is going to be real fun. Let me tell you. I understand that there's history and prep in West Haven on Thanksgiving Eve, but I mean, are we going to get is it going to be a little bit of an appetizer on Thanksgiving Eve, and the main course will be, a couple weeks later, maybe? I don't know.
Oh,
you never know. You never know.
Well, hopefully you win and you enjoy your turkey, and it doesn't come to that. But Coach, thanks for joining us. We, like I said, long overdue. We appreciate you joining on, and you look like you guys have got a great team. Obviously, big one coming up here, and a lot of football left. But we appreciate you joining us.
There sure is. I thank you, and thank you for all this. Really is a nice addition to high school football in Connecticut. Your show and your website and the way you guys cover the high school football and all the sports. But I know all our kids like watching your show, and I like that you give the kids most of the credit. So thank you for everything you do.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We especially love it when they all dap us up on the sidelines, during the game. Hey, Pete time's here. Especially Pete. Kadir's giving Pete bear hugs on the sideline.
It's my guy. It's my guy, right?
All right,
thank you, Coach. We really appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way. All right, we'll see you guys soon.